and welcome to Power Prophet Tarot. I'm the Power Prophet and I'm back again. I'm doing an extended Friday weekend reading because the full moon last night was just awesome, and I had this sense inside of me which is so unusual that all my fluids were being pulled up to the higher extremities of my body, up into my head, and it had me sensing lots of different things: joy and insightfulness, and a sense of understanding about larger issues. And I can't pinpoint exactly what the larger issues were, but there were a lot. Hence my desire to do an extended Friday reading to find out exactly what it means. And two, because I have my new deck of Game of Thrones and I want to utilize that as well in my tarot reading. I calibrated it a little more quickly than I had said I would, and I'm happy that I got it calibrated in such a timely fashion that I could use it for this extended Friday reading. So I'm going to start out with the mystical deck, the mystical shaman deck, and let me shuffle. Give me a second here. Oh, and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to all. I thank you. I pray over you. I wish you all the success in the world, all the power and positivity that there could possibly be. I just wish it all for you, your family, friends, and for all humankind. Again, I'm a universal intuitive. I gain my inspiration and voice, spiritual voice, from the universal life force. I'm not an astrologer, nor am I I read the cards according to astrology, but I am a Piscean, so I do feel the things that Pisceans feel, those macro things, being super sensitive, being intuitive, wanting to help people so much to the point where sometimes we even bring our own selves down by trying to help somebody else out. So I do know some of the things that Pisceans do go through, and we always think there's hope, we always think there's chance, we always think that there's going to be a turnaround, which is a good thing because Pisceans are full of hope. And I think this full moon is bringing in a sense of hope for our dreams, our desires, a sense of hope for our relationships, a sense of hope for our career, a sense of hope for our children, our friends, a sense of hope for just our life course, that it will be on point and it can be whatever it is that you desire it to be. So I'm just praying over the cards that they will give me messages that will resonate with you for this extended Friday weekend reading. And I'm giving a special shout out to my Pisceans because these cards may speak to you as well, being that it is a universal reading. I'm reading it as a Piscean today, just because of this full moon. I mean, it was heavy last night. It was so low and so just heavy. I reached up, I felt like I could almost grab it and bring it out of the sky. I just felt a source of strength and power aligned with that moon that was just overwhelming, totally overwhelming. And it was absolutely beautiful. That's all I could say. I was riding home from a long ride, and the moon just kept me energized. The energy from the moon kept me energized, and kept me awake on that long drive. So let me shuffle the cards one more time. Please give me messages for universal audience, for my Pisceans. Please give me a message that resonates. Please give us an introductory message that sort of leads us to where we're going to go with this reading. I pray to all of my ancestors, the gods and goddesses of Egypt. I pray to the divine creator, to the infinite life force. I pray to the Alpha and Omega. I just pray to all the spirits who help interpret the cards. I pray to my mother who taught me the gift of reading. And I just want to thank all of them, every entity, every person that has ever impacted my life. And I pray over the individuals who are watching this video that they may get something that is inspiring and useful from these videos. And thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Gotta show some gratitude. Gotta show gratitude, guys. You gotta show gratitude, guys and gals. So I'm gonna pull out two cards. The first one is the mystical shaman that came out. So you can see it. It's upside down though. Okay, so that's the first card, the Mystical Shaman. Second card I'm going to pull is the Andean Cross. See that? The Andean Cross. And that was right side up. And what I want to do is I want to read these directly from the book, because I find that sometimes my interpretation is on, but these interpretations from the Mystical Shaman guidebook are just amazing. And so for the Mystical Shaman, who is a 3 and an 8, 38. Let's see here. Mystical Shaman. When it's in reverse, it becomes the medicine. Be careful what you pray for. The Mystical Shaman cautions you against relentless attachment to a certain form that you think will make attachment to a certain form that you think will make you happy, prosperous, famous, loved, etc. However, in seeing your dream come into being, had you considered what you were calling, what you are willing to sacrifice for it? Perhaps you have been telling yourself a certain story for so long, the story that only when you reach the particular goal you will be happy, that you will arrive. You didn't even notice you are no longer the person who wanted those outcomes. You may have moved beyond those stories. Perhaps it's time to admit to yourself that you need to imagine a new story that is more in alignment with who you have become. This is just one moment in a million of moments in the continuum of life. Let it go. Let it be just a story and move on. Better tales are waiting to be told. Indeed, the Mystical Shaman is letting us know that we need to change how we think. We can't be caught up in this concrete, unmovable, inflexible, non-fluid sort of thought process that negates the reality of who we may have become in the process of getting the outcomes that we wanted to get. Now, what I want to do right now is pull out a card, so pull out some Manzel Tarot card, the Manzel Tarot 2 cards, to highlight or to provide us with some more insight into that card. So what are these things that we're thinking about? What are these things that we are endeavoring to do? What is this form of thought that is that could be sort of obstinate and keeping us in the same place? Please shed some light on this. Universal Life Force, give me the voice, the understanding, and the hearing to shed some life on this. Life, yes, to shed some life on that. Not light, life. As you know, I usually do a shuffle for my cards before I pray over them and sage them. Well, I don't sage, I use frankincense and myrrh. And to sage my documents. There's all different types of sage. There's sage, which is more Native American tradition, and there's frankincense and myrrh, which is of another tradition. So I choose the frankincense and myrrh. Plus it smells so wonderful, and makes your house smell so wonderful. But let's see what Manzel B has to say. Manzel B is the gentleman who created these beautiful cards. Let's see. I like to shuffle them again once I get on camera, just for you. We'll do the second Andean Cross after I shed some light on what it is that we're blocking. What is this that we're staying locked into, and what do we need to let go of? What do we need to let go of? Please tell us. I pulled out 4 cards from the Manzel's Tarot 2 deck. And the first card that came up was the 6 of Wands. Wands, of course, as you know, are fire. And I love to say that word. Fire. Fire can destroy and it can create. And it can destroy to create. Meaning, if there is a huge fire, it'll burn off, well, you know, in certain countries with their agriculture, they burn off the topsoil so that they can get more fertile soil to then plant a new crop. So we see here a face with some individuals going into the face. Can you see that? There's 2 individuals down in the bottom. They're walking away. So my interpretation that I'm getting, what I'm hearing from this card, is a sense of peace and a sense of keep getting this image of a wheel in my head. I'm not exactly sure what this wheel is, but there seems to be a sense of peace attached to going around in a circle. And yeah, and the circle, this wheel is spinning a little fast, like it's out of control. And yes, the wands give you fire, power, strength, but if you're on this wheel, if you're a person who's on this energy wheel that is spinning and spinning out of control, then it might throw you off. It might be a injurious type of adventure. So let's see what that venture might be. Game of Thrones. Being thrown off that wheel. Give us some more information about what this wheel is. More information about what this wheel is. More information about what this wheel is. What is this thing that is spinning out of control? While there's a sense of peace, there is a sense of unrecognized unpeace, if that's a word. Lack of peace. Uppy daisy. We got one that fell out. Sorry, I had to pick it up. And I don't do flyaways. Let me shuffle one more time. Or flyouts, not flyaways. Flyouts. Let me break it. Doing this again. Give us a sense of what these flyaways could be. Tell us what this wheel is about. Tell us what this wheel is about. Oh, and guess what? We got Ned Stark and we got Justice. We got the Seven of Spears. And we have the Magician. And do we know who this is? If you're familiar with the Game of Thrones. All right. So here we have the mystical shaman telling us that we could possibly be blocking our own initiative and our own movement forward by these old thought forms and not really paying attention to who we are. And then we have the Six of Wands, which in my interpretation, I see like there's a sense of peace being on this wheel that is going too fast. Like there's not a clear awareness of what that fast spinning wheel could possibly do. So we have Ned Stark, who is right side up. And this is the card of justice. There is something happening here where there's something being weighed, something occurring where there's a imbalance that needs to be balanced. And this card actually is harmony, balance. But at the same time, if we're flying too fast on the wheel, we may need to check with ourselves to see if things are in alignment, if they are balanced. Why is the wheel spinning so fast? Why are things moving so quickly in your life? And are they moving quickly in your life in a way that you approve, or in a way that you're even paying attention to? So bring your attention and your energies to the idea of justice. How can I provide balance to the situation? Things could be flying out of control in a relationship. Things could be flying out of control at work. Things could be flying out of control in a number of situations. But there is a sort of ignorance is bliss, that peace that is leading one to not open their eyes and their ears and their heart to the situation to bring justice and balance. And that is going to cause some problems at some point. There will be a standoff. This is a Seven of Spears, Seven of Swords. This is air energy. And as you can see, there is a fight ensuing. And this individual is really fighting for their life. So perhaps this wheel, there is knowledge of why the wheel is spinning so fast. And it may not be spinning fast because the individual wants it to spin fast. It could be this fast moving energy is due to others who are not paying attention or bearing in mind how this is impacting the individual who may be on that wheel. And this person here, you or whomever you like to put into this position may need to fight them off and get them at bay. But at the same time, we have the Magician here, who is right side up. And it's interesting that all these cards came right side up. Usually I get some reversals. But the Magician is a coy individual. They could be a trickster. They could be many things. But one thing that could happen is with magic, things can turn around. They can turn around in a way that you'll never... that you may never know, or they can turn around in such a way that it knocks you off your feet. The mystical shaman wants you to look inside yourself to see what is going on. And with these individuals who you're trying to fight off, who are moving things too fast for you, much faster than you'd like, there is light at the end of the tunnel. The trickster is not going to trick you. It's an opportunity to make some changes, okay? And then we have the Seven of Cups. This is back to we had the sense of the wheel spinning and being on it and not understanding, but coming to find out through our Game of Thrones cards that that there will be justice to the situation. Whoever's spinning that wheel or moving things too fast for you, they will be brought to bear by justice. There will be balance to the situation. And that's even affirmed by the Seven of Cups with the Manzel Tarot 2. Seven of Cups is sitting there. Cups is about water, fertility, life, and there is definitely real peace here that is coming. Next to that we have the Queen of Cups. Upside down. Queen of Cups. But it was upside down. Now, the Queen of Cups upside down, you know, water is about life, fertility, abundance. Upside down, there seems to be some lack. So even though there is a sense of peace, there's this wheel, you need to work with these people to get folks, or this energy, to get this energy right, where it's not this frenetic pace, and you got to fight off that energy. It may be a metaphorical fight, or it may be a real fight. But once that's done, there will be a sense of peace. At the same time, there may feel a sense of lack because you no longer have all of the energy, all of that energy that you were at peace with, that felt like it was okay. You'll have a lack of peace because you no longer have all that frenetic energy. It's like you need, or there's a sense of needing to have this wild energy to feel life, to feel alive. And with the cup upside down, it's really telling us that this lack is not a positive per se, but it could be a negative, feeling that sense of lack, because it could make us feel a little empty. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. Pentacles are of the earth. And this is saying you need to get with yourself, you need to go into yourself, and you need to evaluate what is happening in your situation. Right? We need to do some soul searching, some thinking about what is happening. Because we cannot keep up a frenetic pace like that. It will wear you out. Whatever that energy is, too many jobs, a person, a partner who's just totally kind of wild, if you want to call it that. We need to find a sense of peace. Take time out to go into your intuition, into your spirit, into yourself, to figure out what it is that you want. This wheel, this energy could have been built by you, could have been initiated by you, but it was accosted, taken over by others who felt that it was okay to treat you like this because you were treating yourself like this. Let's see what the tarot card tells us about who's treating us like this. Who is treating us like this? Who is treating us like this? Who is treating us like this? Remember, I pulled two mystical cards, and I'll get to the one after I get finished reading this. Who's treating us like this? Who's treating us like this? Who are the individuals that has our energy so frenetic? And have we taught them to treat us that way? And how can we get over it? Please enlighten us. I ask for the ability to hear, the ability to see, the ability to interpret. How can we handle this situation? Yes, we could go into ourselves, but tell us more details about the situation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We've got the Two of Coins upside down. It's a Game of Thrones deck. We got the Priestess right side up. We have the Empress right there, right side up. And we have the Fool right side up. Now, asking the cards, what is the situation about? What's this spinning wheel thing that we're on? That this energy that's just like, look at my hands, that's just like this, right? Looks kind of crazy, doesn't it? But that's what it is, frenetic energy. Now, we know we need to go into ourselves to figure out how are we participating? Can we even see this? It's having an impact. And maybe the moon is impacting it even more, because the moon, you know, it controls the oceans, you know. If the moon is out of alignment, I mean, we would have tidal waves, earthquakes, all kind of stuff. The moon keeps this world together, you know, and it's definitely impacting the fluids in our bodies. Like I said, I felt like all my fluid went up into my head, and I felt a surge of energy. So we have the Two of Cups upside down. This is what it looks like right side up. We have it upside down. So there may be some issues around finances that could also be causing this wheel to spin out of control. There could be some issues with finances with this wheel upside, with this Two of Cups upside down. And this fits with the Queen of Cups. Some lack. Again, if we continue along with this energy, there will be lack. But I'm also seeing the Priestess, who is the individual who is intuitive, creative, and that's you. This is both masculine and feminine divine energy together in the Priestess. So it could be any sort of divine energy that fits the situation for you, right? So we have the Priestess here who's telling us, and who may be you, male and female energy, who is not desiring to be in a situation, who wants to get out of this situation, because next to that there is the Empress. And this is another powerful card, because the Empress, Daenerys Stromberg, the Targaryen, is a very strong individual, very bold, very forthright, very determined. So the individuals, or the energy that has overtaken and made the energy like this, there will be some cessation, some end to it. Again, you may have to do some boxing, metaphorically and physically. I don't mean box like beat somebody up, but to get this energy under control. But I see that things will be coming to a head, and again, you will return to that bold, determined person that you need to be, because you're going to go into yourself to become the Priestess. And again, divine feminine, divine masculine energy. Remember, you needed to go into some silence, into a space where you could think, well, this is what the Priestess portends, that you are indeed going to become this individual who is more forthright, and more attuned to the things that you need in your life, as opposed to letting others take over your wheel, that spinning crazy wheel. And then we have the Empress, which you will emerge into. At the same time, though, there will be a major change. The Fool. Game of Thrones quiz. Who is that? Tyrion Lannister? But this is, he represents the Fool here. And on one end, the Fool treads where people don't tread, because they have no thought of what the dangers are. But then again, the Fool also shows that there is some completion, some sort of finality to the situation, just like with the magician. These are two people that were straight up that could possibly, if they were upside down, be negative. The magician being a trickster, somebody's lying to you, but it's straight up. No one's lying to you. They're just treating you the way you've been treating yourself. And the fool could be upside down, proving that you're going to walk into some crazy situation that's out of control. But no, the fool is right side up, and it's showing me that you're going to be okay. Even though things are moving fast right now, faster than you wish or faster than you recognize, you will come to understanding of this frenetic energy, and you will take control of it to the best of your ability to emerge as the Empress that you are. And that is bold and determined. You're determined to reach your goals. And that wheel, that energy is nothing but an obstacle. It could be set in pace because you just had lots of things you wanted to do, right? And you just got overwhelmed. But the bottom line is you will get things under control, and you will be able to set yourself back on the right path, and you will become a person of more courage and more determination and more understanding who you really are and what your power is about. Remember the mystical shaman said about power and knowing who you're about. Sometimes in the destination you change, and all of that energy is helping you to change because you don't want this. You want justice, balance, peace, harmony, as the card shows. It takes time for things to happen, but happen indeed they do, and you will find resolution to these issues. So let's see. What I want to do now is go back to our mystical shaman cards. We had, excuse me, I'm dropping cards all over the floor, which is not good. Got a little shelf down here. Shaman, mystical card was upside down. We read this. This means get it together. This means open your eyes and see exactly what's happening and who you are. You are the Empress. You are someone of courage and determination, and you can see when you are changing, and you need to recognize when you are changing. When you start out on a journey, sometimes when you get to the end, you're not the same person who wanted those things. And that's okay. But how do you change? You change by fighting to get back to where you need to be. If you feel like you can't, if you feel like it's not happening, if you feel like you don't have the strength to do it, you need to pull some psychic energy up to fight to get back to you, so you have a clearer understanding of who you are. And then we have the Andean cross, which was right side up. I'm going to read this. Two was right side up, so we get an invitation. The Andean cross announces a start to a great journey. Wow. It's time to raise your gaze from mundane day to day to which until now has seemed beyond your grasp, because you were caught up in this frenetic energy. Wow. Allow new wisdom to guide you, and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond with a resounding yes. We have to look at the choices around us, and we have to say yes with discretion. So it is about the things that you've piled on your plate, and people see that you've piled your plate up, so they're piling it up even more. But as the card said, there is hope. There is change. No one's lying to you. No one is trying to trick you. This was something you brought all on yourself by not being able to say yes. You have this energy abounding from you. You know, some people just say yes without taking time to understand what the ramifications or the implications or the conclusion or outcomes of saying yes will be. And are you saying yes to something that really reflects who you are? What are we saying yes to? Going back to my Manzel tarot cards. yes to? What are we saying yes to? What are we saying yes to? What are we saying yes to? Give us insight into how we can open our eyes. What are we saying yes to? What is it around us? What is it in our past, present, and future that is prompting this need to be a people pleaser? Da, 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 da. People pleaser. They've got you on this frenetic wheel, spinning, and you're at peace because you identify it as yourself. You feel that that's you, like in a manic state. That's okay. You feel that that is the way life is supposed to be. Tell us more. Tell us more, cards. Give us some more insight into this situation. Give us some more insight, please. Tell us some more. I thank you for the reading we had thus far, and I asked you, who, and these individuals are not using you in a malicious way, that are piling more on your plate, but what is happening here? Show us some more about what is happening here with this saying yes to things that may not necessarily reflect who this individual is or what this individual stands for, but that which they believe is them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see what we have. Whoa. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. We got the Queen of Wands. You can do this. You have the courage and you have the fire to make these changes in your life. Wheel of Fortune is upside down. My sleeve is getting caught on the chair, sleeve on my shirt, so forgive me. Right side up, upside down. The Wheel of Fortune upside down, it is revealing to me that the longer you stay in this frenetic energy, the more misfortune will befall upon you. Because you cannot do it all. You cannot do it all. You cannot do it all by yourself. Now you fought off individuals, but you still need to you fought off energy. You're going to fight that off that need to say yes. You're gonna stop. A trick. Let me get back to you on that. That's a trick. Let's pin it up here for a minute. I'll get back to you on that. Let's talk about that a little while later. Little tricks. But I also see the Five of Wands, fire. And this person is moving into prosperity. But they're also doing it with individuals. Now you're on this wheel doing all this work and you're doing it by yourself. So you do feel worn out. You feel tired. You feel upside down. But you're not recognizing it as such. You're believing that these things you feel are normal because you've been doing it for so long. By yourself. You need to have individuals with you. And here we have the Six of Cups, who's coming to bring you some life and restoration. So it's not that there's other people doing something to you. It's that you're doing it to yourself. With this desire to people please. People pleasing is not a good thing, because when we people please, we deny the reality of who we are. We deny our own needs and our own wants. And sometimes we can people please for so long that we even forget our own identity, who we are. And we can't even see how we've changed over time, and how what we thought we wanted by doing all this, we are no longer that same individual. We know that we need help, we're going to ask for it, but we also know that we're going to be okay. Again, water is life-giving and fertile. And the Six of Cups is stability, foundation, building. You will. These cards are all coming back to positivity, that you will overcome this if you can recognize exactly what you're doing and how you're doing it and how you're allowing people to do it to you. You know, there's a saying that I always use: you teach people how to treat you, and they observe how you treat yourself. And then they believe that they can do those things to you, which of course you're going to allow them to do, because that's the way that's the energy you've been putting out there. Let's see what the Game of Thrones deck has to say. Give us some information. Shed some more light on this weekend and how we can use this weekend to work to our advantage, to help us move forward in trying to get back to ourselves. Show us. Give us some insight. Are there people involved? Specifically, who are these people? Are there partners involved? Who are these partners? And you know, I'm sorry folks, I don't do love readings. I just read the cards as they are. So if love comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't, it doesn't come out. This is about acceptance, power, and emboldenment. And that's what these card readings are for. It's for you, for you, for you. And then you interpret them the way you need to work into your own life. And try to think realistically about the things you're doing and how the cards may illuminate that and provide solutions for that, or provide advice for solutions for things that we find a little challenging at times. Okay, we got the Ace of Spears. We got the Wheel of Fortune again. We got the Knight of Cups. We got the Ten of Coins upside down. And we have the Page of Coins. You're grounded. I have every faith that you're going to be able to do exactly what it is that you need to do. Every faith. There's nothing in this card that is denying your ability to be all that you can be and overcome these challenges, and to slow your roll. Remember, say, let me think about it. Let's put a pin in it and talk about it later. Do not say yes to another thing until you clean your plate and get things under control, and get those people who realize, once they realize that you can do things, they continue to put things on your plate. Once you can knock those folks off your plate, you can make room for doing things that really reflect the reality of you. And the Wheel of Fortune just suggests that. There will be completion in this cycle. You will finish this cycle of cleansing house and becoming not a yes person. You will be a people pleaser, but in a different way. There'll be a completion to this cycle. And you will arrive as the Knight of Cups with armor on, but armor not so that you don't feel or have any feeling, but armor so that you can effectively do what you need to do without wearing your heart on your sleeve, without being overly sensitive to people's needs in a way that causes you to take on their concerns and their distress. Then we have the Ten of Coins upside down. This is it right side up. The Ten of Coins upside down, right side up, you know, it's all good. You're celebrating what's happening. But we still are, these cards are still letting me know that there is work to be done on you with this frenetic energy. There's still something needs to happen. If it doesn't happen, it's going to impact your ability, your health, your ability to make money, your ability to bring resource. It's going to have some detrimental impacts. And you'll wind up like the Page of Coins. Not that you'll become homeless or a beggar or anything like that, but in a way, I'm hearing something different from what I was going to interpret. I'm hearing that your naivete will cause the disruption in your coin, in your money, in your finances. Your naivete and your people pleasing. But we all know that you got this. You have this. And let this full moon cycle be a time where you make changes. Think about it. Think about what the first mystical shaman card was about. Think about this. The idea that you're different from who you are when you started this thing. Before all this happened. And now that you're doing all this, you are a different person. And you even feel it. You know it. And the Andean cross. Stop saying yes all the time. Remember the Empress? You are the Empress, divine female and male energy. These genders are fluid on these cards. You have this. You will win. You will overcome. You will see and you will overcome. Well, that's about it for the reading. What I want to do is pull a power card from the power deck. Oh, upside down from the power deck. We did the mystical shaman. I want to leave you something on a high note. Again, I'm not all about relationships with people. Because before we can get with people, we got to get right with ourselves. So my readings tend to really be about getting right with you. First and foremost. And that's what the Spirit has put into my readings. So if you want to know about love and romance and when's he coming back and I love him more, this is not the channel for you. But if you want to hear things that are about personal empowerment and growth, that's the universal life force that's being taught, that's being shown to me. How to be the best person you can be. And then once you become the best person you can be, then you can think about having relationships. Then you could think about it. Or working on a relationship. Or growing a relationship. But you got to get right with yourself first. Let me shuffle. Let me move these cards aside before I have a tragedy. Excuse me. Remember, this is a Friday weekend extended reading. Oh, gosh, why do I keep dropping things? It's just driving me out of my mind today. I got the dropsies. Sorry. Maybe I need a bigger desk. I think I might invest in one of those. A bigger desk. Or clean off my big desk. So that I can use it. I made a special table for my readings. Alright, leave us with something good. Leave us with some positive energy. Complete the story for us. These cards are huge. Complete the story for us. Let us know how this weekend will go. Alright, let me spread them out. This is how these cards roll. We spread them out. Alright, I'm going to get my hands together because we have to fan them out and then we have to let the vibrations allow us to pick a card that fits the situation. So give me a second. Give me a second. I'm feeling something. I ain't even go halfway through it. Truth! Truth is the card we have. Mixture of physical and spiritual. And this is number 11. You can't get more than that. Balanced, harmonious, potential, possibilities. Number 11. Let's read what it says. Oh, it's right on the card. Are you living your sacred truth? Your being is like a spirit lodge. You know, Indians have these spirit lodges they go, Indians, Native Americans have this spirit lodge that they go into where they can meditate and take journeys with their spirit guide, with their animal guides. So your being is like a spirit lodge. Within this sacred place is the realization of the divine light of your creation. This couldn't be more on point for our reading. Live in your spirit lodge surrounded by peace and joy. This is out of the question. Outside the lodge is the great wilderness where the rest of the world lives. But the wilderness can become a battleground stained by blood, ignorance, and earthly pain. This keeps going. There's the energy there that could bring up some of that pain. To have lasting power in this world, you must earn the trust of those around you. And that can happen by saying, no, I cannot do that today, because you're being real with them about the amount of energy you have for any project. Most people live without trust in the sacred place within. They live without a spirit lodge. And as such, they do not know how to enter the spirit lodge of others. Live within your own sacred truth that you may know peace and joy in the great wilderness and beyond. Truth. We need to be truthful with ourselves and treat ourselves as sacred. And that's what this reading is really about. The whole entire reading. You being the sacred truth. But you have to understand the things that are going on around you and how they fit with your truth and how they don't fit in with your truth. I thank you so much for being with me today for this extended Friday read. That was inspired by the full moon last night and my meditative interaction with it. Again, I thank you. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Namaste.